In Samuel Johnson's book, The Rambler, he writes, "Men more frequently require to be reminded than informed." I'm not sure how I feel about this line as a man, but it sure does explain what the Book of Proverbs is and does. Proverbs invites us to look again at life, to reflect on the things we missed the first time around. It isn't doctrine. It's not really exhortation or teachings either. Proverbs isn't trying to communicate new content. Its goal is to help us view old realities and view them in a new light, to find wisdom in our everyday. And this is something really worth noting. Proverbs isn't a history book. It doesn't look at the past, nor is it eschatological, which means it doesn't look to the future. It's rooted in the here and the now. It's asking, how can I get through today? What do I need to know for this moment? Which makes this book insanely applicable to all of us today. But if you're reading it, you need to know there are some assumptions that the author of the book makes. Like, it assumes that we, the readers, don't know how to live in our current state or world, and we need reminders. It assumes the reader is flooded with unknowns and hidden circumstances, and if we just had this one nugget of knowledge, this parental precept, then we could see what's unseen, and we could better get through our day. And if you think about it, we all have these one-liners that we hold on to in our lives. One of the things that we're asking from you is that you send us your parental precepts. What are those one-liners, either from your parents passed on to you or the wisdom you're passing on to your kids? Send them to us. We want to make a giant resource and to share them together. For instance, in the Roller family, Devin and Matt teach their kids that they are a good friend with a servant's heart. And they teach that they're smart and they know that God loves them. These are their parental proverbs. It's a physical reminder. They go out and act out their beliefs in the world. They are to go be good friends and to serve others when able. The phrases that they use, they're pithy and seemingly simple, but they have immeasurable depth on how we build up our character and self-worth. The book of Proverbs is just like this. Take Proverbs 12:25. Anxiety weighs down the human heart, but a good word cheers it up. It's a simple one-liner. It's not teaching you new content, but it's a reminder that helps you get through your day. So let's break this down together. First phrase, anxiety weighs down the human heart. This is the assumption that you might not have seen before and not have readily had in your mind, but now that you think about it, yeah, this phrase is obvious. Anxiety weighs down the human heart. At least it does for me. I'm not typically an anxious person. I actually do my best to be a non-anxious presence. But right now, I'm experiencing all kinds of anxiety. I'm anxious about us worshiping in person. It's not that I don't feel safe, it's that I worry about you not feeling safe or how you feel or the needs you have and if we're meeting them appropriately, and it just makes me worry. I officiated a funeral yesterday and I found myself just anxious for the people present. Are they okay? I'm anxious about someone feeling isolated or alone or abandoned. I worry about the mental health of all of our parishioners, and if we're doing the best we can as a church, it just makes me anxious. I'm anxious about the coronavirus and what it's doing to our school system and our children. I'm anxious about school starting in a few weeks and our teachers and administrators and all that they're dealing with. I'm anxious about the family struggling with childcare and whether they should stay at home or go to school. I'm anxious about why others aren't wearing masks or why they're making it out to be an issue that it shouldn't be. I mean, to me, when Jesus says, love your neighbor as yourself, treat others the way you want to be treated, it just makes good sense that Christians should be the first in line to wear a mask when we're in public. But because not everyone agrees, I'm anxious about going into stores, or about whether my child should play in organized sports, or whether we should be attending small socially distanced events. I'm just flat anxious. And I can attest that this kind of anxiety, it weighs down the human heart. I didn't used to think of it like this, but now that I see it, it's the truth. My heart, which is inside my body, feels heavy. It's weighing down my soul. This weight is more than the mental load that I carry in my mind. It's more than just having to make decisions, adjusting to the needs of kids and family and work. I'm talking about an anxiety that sits heavy in my body, on my chest, weighing down my heart, wrapping itself like a virus around my muscles, affecting my breathing and my sleeping and my decision making. This anxiety weighs down the heart. And I bet it does yours too. I know I'm not alone in these feelings because I sit with you in your anxiety. You tell them to me. And I can tell you the majority of us, I'm even ready to say all of us, whether we're conscious to it or not, are weighed down by anxiety. I mean, working from home is hard. Leaving home to go to work is hard. Figuring out how to shop online is hard. Getting supplies and groceries that you need is hard. Managing family expectations and work rhythms is hard. Having family forced to live in an adult living facility is hard. Wondering if you can and should go to the doctor or hospital or go outside for a walk, it's all hard. Trying to find the balance in all of this is exhausting. Our day is exhausting. The mental load we carry is exhausting, and we need help. And this is as good of a reason to turn to Proverbs as any. And look how Proverbs 12:25 responds to this anxiety and offers us something to get through our day. But a good word cheers us up. Now, this is what Proverbs does. It takes a complex reality and offers what seems to be a simple solution, but it becomes game-changing. Think about it like this. We can't stop the unknowns, or we can't answer all the questions concretely enough to stop the flood of worry and anxiety. There are just some things we can't change. But there are things we can change, like offering a good word. The heaviness of our heart lifts when we hear a kind word, and it lifts even higher when we share empathy and kindness with others. This is a remedy for our pain, showing kindness, offering empathy, meeting people in their pain, and offering a good word to cheer them up. I absolutely love this. I know we're feeling overwhelmed. So let's start by letting me tell you something. I want to tell this to everyone, kids and adults. This is not going to be easy for you to hear, but I want to say it. You're okay. You're loved. You're enough, just as you are. And you don't have to get whatever is undone done to prove to God you're worthy. I see the weight around your heart, and I want you to know you are okay, just as you are. I hope this will lift your soul. I hope it lightens the weight around your heart and cheers you up. And by the way, I know that I'm your pastor and I'm telling you this, but I want you to know that these are not my words. They are God's words, written to and for you. These words lift all of our hearts. We're okay. We're loved. We're enough, just as we are. We're okay. We're loved. We're enough, just as we are. This is the power of Proverbs. It doesn't teach, it reminds. And our heavy hearts need this reminder in order to be lifted. And this is something we can change. We can be the kind of people that offers this level of empathy to others. We can bring to them, in the midst of their anxiety, a moment of levity. A moment where you peer past the worry. You remind them of a core truth of their existence, that they're okay, they're loved, they're enough, just as they are. So this is our pearl of wisdom for today. It's one great way for us to get through our day. We can be kind, We can go a step further and offer kindness, speaking words of life to our friends and family, offering words of comfort to those we work with, or giving words of grace to those we love, because their hearts are heavy. And even if it's just for a moment, we can cheer them up, which in turn lifts our soul to God too.